follow your clients after they've had this experience with you? Do you follow them after a while, and do they, like, I guess longitudinally?
Yeah.
What do they say to you after?
Yeah, there's a counseling center, community counseling center that I had a chance to work with, emotional intelligence work, restorative justice, and I'll just check in with the ED, every few months to say, how's it going, and yeah, it's great to hear. I would like to do that, get more longitudinal data, like let's see 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what the result is, because I'm very much impact driven. But the degree to which I just sort of like am checking in with folks,
And if I could give an example, because I've brought drumming circles into strategy sessions in the context of generating more innovation. And there was one that I did at my former employer, Korn Ferry, as we were prototyping this approach. And so I talked to a business leader. I said, what is your biggest business challenge? Similar to what you just did with us, right? And so for several, but we landed on one. And the one was how to take a sales team that was used to selling consulting services that now had to sell large-scale AI-powered digital platforms for managing people, in an organization. And so there was a sense of uncertainty and confusion because that's apparently selling technology, selling systems, and it's not selling consulting services. It's completely different.
Yeah.
So we came into the space very much along the lines of what Rahul talked about, got people comfortable. Many people were uncertain. The facilitator said, how many of you feel you have no rhythm?
Oh, yeah.
And all the hands, 3/4 hands went up.
Yeah.
And then he said, how many of you don't have a heartbeat?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
We're alive.
Rhythm, not only do you have rhythm, it's keeping you alive.
It's keeping you alive,
Right.
and yeah, absolutely.
Right? So that was a sense, okay, so we all have rhythm here.
Yeah.
And then we got comfortable with the drums and stuff like that. So, but when we combined the drumming, and we did another exercises with cartoon thinking, which would be another one of our podcasts, the emotion that came out that no one had expected.
Yeah.
But as people did their own signature thing, and as we do the cartoon thinking and drawing, the emotion was fear. And fear of what? And it turns out that there was fear on both sides of the equation. The buyers, afraid to either move too slowly in a fast-moving AI, large-scale digital platform world and miss out to the competition, or moving too fast and installing a system that just is a disaster. And the other fear on the sales side is, indeed, we have no idea how to sell this stuff.
Yeah. My question to you, that's beautiful. My question to you is, if you didn't have this process, would those fears have been articulated?
Not at all.
So
because it's an
you're
emotion.
giving-
Imagine some high-powered managing consultant, very successful, very branded firm.
Yeah.
Legitimately and in a deserved way.
Yeah.
To admit to your peers
That you're scared.
that you're scared.
Yeah, no.
Now, and then the process, just to land it from a strategy perspective, it opened up the channels to declare the fear. And now with the fear was declared, it's like, well, then how do we conquer that? And what is it that we sell? And they realized through this process, oh, we don't sell digital platforms. We bring our technology people to explain all the requirements. What we sell is reassurance. Put your trust in us, and we'll help you through this transformation and disruption process. But I guarantee you that conversation would not have happened, that realization that led to strategy without opening up the channels through music and humor and drawing.
I love all of that, and if I can respond as a psychologist, being able to articulate and own the tough stuff that sometimes we feel like we can't, especially in some of these corporate or business environments. I'm from the Midwest, so like driving in the winter, if you're on an icy road and your car starts to swerve to the side, your gut tells you to turn away.
That's right.
But actually, that's going to be
supposed
disaster.
That's right.
You turn into the skid, which is terrifying when you first think about it. But it's like, no, actually, and I'm using that phrase so much. Turn into acknowledge the fear. that's turning into the skit.
Yeah. Instead of a way, right?
Yeah. So like, and this is like one of my favorite models for thinking about the human personality is this model of multiplicity, within, is the internal family systems model. Basically, we have different parts of ourselves. Like, okay, acknowledging a part of me is afraid, And I bring that into the coaching world when I do emotional intelligence coaching. One of my favorite questions is, are you aware of how you are being experienced by other people? Not by how you see yourself or what drives you, but are you at least aware of how team members, because maybe it's not an issue, but maybe if you actually did some exploration around that, you could actually have greater enhanced teamwork. Let's say you realize that people experience you as a hard ass. And then you sort of do some self-reflection. It's like, yeah, I have high expectations. Well, you go to your next meeting and you just say, like, I know I can come across this way. This is why. Like, this is what that is such a I think it helps other people feel that they can trust the leader more, because this person is kind of owning, well, this is the way I am. Or it might be just a heads up, this is how I'm going to be. But so this idea of increased self-awareness and ownership of the different parts that we have, and finding effective ways to communicate that.